So that kind of rolls us into another conversation here. And Ciara has just pointed out that Greens policy would make my life better in a tangible way. So that leads me into the second conversation, or the second part of this conversation. This was an article written by Simon Wilson a couple of months ago. Nationals Christopher Luxon is fighting for the party's future. The battleground is race. There's one thing that Simon said in this article, and I'll just scroll down to it and read it out. It says this: meanwhile, National has not pulled itself into the commanding position Luxon's supporters expected, which he still hasn't done. If ACT wins, say, 20% and National 30%, ACT will be a powerful force in the new government. So powerful, it will be well placed to become the dominant party on the right in 2026. Too much? The hard right has taken over the Republican Party in America and replaced moderate parties of the centre-right in France, Italy, Austria, Sweden, and many other European countries. There's no reason to think the same trend won't emerge here. Now, we talked about that with Simon when that came out a couple of months ago. But my question is, seeing everyone's talking about the Greens, being the bold ones, being the brave ones, being perhaps the voice of the left now, the Greens are currently polling about what ACT is polling. Similar, 12, 13, 12, 11, so between 11 and 14. On the left, the partner to the Greens, Labour, is not polling as well as the partner to the ACT party. No. So can we also throw out the idea that at 2026, the Greens could be the dominant, powerful force on the left, much like Simon is meandering whether the ACT could be on the right? Is there a like for like there? You talked about, the partisan or the tribalness that we are. Are we going to go more tribal, and will the Greens become dominant on the left and Labour will be the supporting party? Will ACT become dominant on the right, and will National be the supporting party within the next few cycles?
I don't think so, actually. And I think the Green movement, if we have a look at it internationally, has been a failure. Where they've got some traction, particularly in Europe, is where they've been like centre-right in terms of economics and some green issues. They're almost non-existent in Australia now. The highest they've ever polled is 11%, and they simply don't get enough traction in seats that you would call heartland Labour. They get, even they've got a very good candidate running out in what used to be called Manukau East, Panmure or Tahu in terms of Efisa Collins. I don't think they're going to do any real damage to Labour. They're more active in the Māori in the Māori seats. Got some great candidates. I want to tell you that I facilitated the debate for Te Tai Tokerau, and Huana Linden is an exceptional speaker. She's got great presence and also got good, very good understanding and articulates very well in terms of policy. But I just haven't seen the Greens get enough traction in heartland Labour seats to make a big difference. The sad reality
when you say heartland, I think mainstream. And just on that point, there's some texts that are coming in as well. Simon says the Green Party have fundamental issues where they cannot become the dominant party of the left, say foreign policy, which would be a certified mainstream New Zealand and defence. Simon also says the leadership roles would not be seen as mainstream enough for heartland New Zealand, mainstream New Zealand. That's probably fair then.
Yeah, but they get more votes at Epsom than they do in Manukau East. Right. They get more. So that is a dilemma for the Greens, and Marama's a good leader. James is a good leader, but they really haven't had an identifiable sort of strong leader that has worked over a couple of election cycles. That gets ongoing traction.
It's got to be Chloe. I mean, Chewy refers to Chloe as his queen. So with respect to the queen, because she is so smart. We love watching interviews that she does, because she comes in and she sits next to Brooke Van Velden on TV, and she goes, well, this morning I was just reading the latest research, and we go, because she comes with the receipts, she comes absolutely prepared. However, but maybe she's able to do that because she's not the leader. This is what we think. Because she's got time and space to be Chloe, rather than having to be the leader and then maybe have other responsibilities. But she is bold and strong and don't take no shit and knows her stuff. She could be that leader.
She could be. I wonder whether she wants to stick around in Parliament long enough
Yeah.
to see that through. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, she's got the goods. I think she does, and she's one of those people that when you see her up close and personal, yeah, she tends to win you over. But you know, the Greens by and large are just haven't got the level of ongoing traction. I hope I'm wrong. Look, I voted Greens for the first time at the last election because I think the climate crisis is the most dominating issue of our generation, and certainly my kids' generation. And they are consistent when it comes to to deal with climate mitigation and leading the way on this very fundamentally important issue.
And they always come costed. You know,
true.
Labor or National will go out and talk about more prisoners in prison or less prisoners or spending money, and the reporter will go, how much does it cost to keep a prisoner? And they're out by $100,000.
Yeah.
The Greens come costed.
Yes.
So whether you like the Greens, dislike the Greens, respect the Greens, don't whatever, you can't actually challenge that. That's in this current cycle, they have been the ones who, for every policy they've put out there, they've also gone, and this is how we pay for it, which none of the other parties have done, not to that level.